Hey everybody, Luke from Guy Reviews here. Today we're going to be breaking down 5 reasons you shouldn't start a business. In today's world, it seems like everybody wants to convince you to go start a business and that they can guarantee you success. The truth is, running a business is extremely hard, and most businesses that fail in the first couple of years fail because of mistakes made right at the beginning before they ever open their doors or officially launched. Now, businesses do fail for other reasons, but these are some of the most common ones I find that are red flags that should make you not want to start at least that particular business. Now, I love running a business. I've had multiple. I've had ones that just didn't come together, never found an audience, never found a revenue stream significant enough to support it. I've had businesses that became successful but never earned enough money to really justify paying myself, much less hiring other people. And I've had businesses that became crazy successful and that have sold, including one I sold recently. So I wanted to take my experience, my knowledge, and pass it along because I love being a business owner. But I also hate to watch people waste their life, drain their life savings, or years of their life into a business that was probably never going to be successful. So let's break down the 5 things you should know before you start a business, or as the video says, 5 reasons not to start a business. Now, if you're new here, do me a big favor, hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up. It really does help us because it lets YouTube know you enjoy what we do here. And hopefully we can help you, in this case, avoid a major financial mistake that many people make. So let's get into it. Let's start off with 5 reasons why you shouldn't start a business. And if you think you're going to do it no matter what, pay attention to these 5 reasons because they may help you avoid mistakes. Number 1, not enough money. Now this is very common, all right? You have the best idea in the world. It's very structurally sound. The market research is excellent. All kinds of stuff play out. But you don't go into it with enough money to make it through to the success point. When my most recent business launched, for over a year, I basically made no money. It was a side gig that I basically did. Many of the most successful businesses out there, including huge, massive corporations now, started in somebody's garage as almost a side hustle to get some extra money. They grew it slowly. Too often today, people want to rush to the big, massive business, and they don't have enough money in their pockets to get there. Because, okay, let's all talk about that new coffee shop on the corner. We all have seen that, right? We drive by it a few times. Think, oh, man, I should try that place. I should try that place. It takes a while to build a loyal customer base because even if they see you, they see your ads, they know you're there, they're not always going to just rush out and try you. It could take a while for you to grow that business slowly but steadily. So you need to make sure that you have a significant amount of income or ways to get other income, which I'll talk about in a minute, to get you through that first year, few years, as you grow the loyal customer base to sustain your business. I know a lot of business owners that go and deliver pizzas, do other side jobs to bring in money to help them get through those early months and years sometimes as they grow the business from a starting point where it's not profitable to a point where it is profitable enough that they can bring in help and support the business. So keep that in mind. You need some cash reserves or another source of income. Maybe your business starts as a side business. That's how all mine started. And I grew them from there into something much larger where I could actually sustain it without needing to support it 100%. Other people go and save up money for a long time. A lot of people have an idea for a business, but it takes them a year or more to start it because they want to save up cash, or they go through and they lower their expenses. I've seen a lot of people talk about, I sold my home, moved into a small apartment, got a roommate, did all kinds of stuff to lower my expenses to get through that early phase. So make sure you have the money you need to get to the point where you can be profitable, and it will probably take you longer than you think it will. So keep that in mind. Number 2, absolutely no support. Businesses are very time consuming. When you're the boss, you are it. It's not like you're going to turn to somebody else and say, hey, I'm taking a day off, you're in charge. That can come later as you build a good team, but especially at the beginning, if you don't have a support network, if your spouses or family aren't on board with the idea, it can cause a lot of trouble. Really consider, hey, is my spouse, is my family member, is my significant other on board with this? And if not, what can I do to get them on board? I find a lot of times businesses fail because of inner family conflict. Take the time, work with your significant other, your spouse, your family member, whoever it may be that has concerns about the business, to address their concerns and take them seriously. Because that can help you avoid conflicts down the road. If you don't actually have full support of your family members, that can turn into a lot of trouble down the road. So keep that in mind. You need a core group of people who are going to support you through this. Very rarely do solo business owners go against the stream, fight against everybody, and become successful, because you're mentally draining yourself both at home and at work, and it's very detrimental. So keep that in mind. Number 3, poor market research. You can have the greatest idea in the world. You can have a great business plan, all the money, but if you didn't do your market research and make sure you're putting it in the right spot and the right market demands, it's not going to be successful. I always recommend that you spend more time on market research than you do on, hey, this is what the store is going to look like. This is the logo. This is the products I'm going to sell. You need market research to make sure you're putting in the right spot. Just because I'm successful doing this somewhere else doesn't mean you will be, because the demographics are different. Maybe it's a kid's business and the number of kids per household is significantly higher in that area than it is in yours. That can really hurt your ability to launch a new business and be successful in it. Do your market research. Don't be afraid to change things based on it. If you're not doing market research, you're not going to be successful. Understand the demographics, the location, the traffic, all that kind of stuff. Will there actually be a demand for my product at my price point here in this area? Don't just say, yeah, I know it will be because I talked to a few friends. Maybe pay a market research firm to do some market research for you to help you avoid it, or start small, grow big. Keep that in mind. Don't be afraid to move, make changes and more to find a better market. We see this all the time. Businesses move. And you're probably saying, why did they move? Well, maybe the demographics changed. For example, a daycare located in an area with a lot of kids. The area ages, a lot of the kids move away. Now it's an inconveniently located daycare because the number of kids per household has plummeted in that region. Maybe time to move that daycare. And if you're opening one, you may want to say, that may not be a good market for me, for example. So keep that all in mind. Number 4, if your company or your business idea is just a copy of another business, you're probably not going to be successful, especially if that business is a niche market. Now, often we see this. I've had people do this to me. Hey, Luke is being very successful. I'm going to copy what he does. And of course, people are going to come to me, right? Not necessarily. Now, it may happen, especially if you can get in a significantly different market. Just because there's a business on the other side of town that does what you do, maybe there's enough people that on this side of town I can launch a pretty much copycat of it. But people are very loyal, very habit-driven, very loyal. They're not necessarily going to go to another business that offers the same products or service just because it's there, or maybe even just because it's slightly closer. You need to be significantly better. Tiny bit better is not going to be enough to drive you from being overrun by the previous company. And that even goes for online. Be very wary of just saying, well, there's enough customers online, of course I can go launch another business. Surprisingly, especially with niche businesses, one of two things will happen. People won't leave to go to your business, or both of the original and your business will go under because you split the market and now neither store has enough customers to support it. So keep that in mind. This goes back to market research. You need to do that market research. Can I support an exact copy of that business? And just being slightly better is not going to be enough to get you over the hill. You need to be significantly better or have a significant price difference. If you can be significantly cheaper, maybe through offering better technologies or something, that's another way to do it. But just say, hey, I'm 10 cents cheaper, I'm 2%, 5%, 10% better customer service. It's not going to be there. Now, there is an example that's different. Now, we all know that business that we look at, it's like, man, the people there are rude. You know, you go on their Google account, it's all bad reviews on Yelp, Facebook, and more. So I think there's a market here where I can actually come in, offer a similar product, do it significantly better, have significantly better customer service, and more. Again, though, be careful. That's even hard to do. And don't always trust the Google reviews. A lot of times they are fake. Maybe it was a competitor like you that thought they could do the same thing. They bought a bunch of bad fake reviews, and that's what you're actually seeing. Market research. But over and over again, I've seen businesses try to copy what I do and not be successful at it. And I've talked to a lot of business owners, and I see that too, right? They try to copy what they do, and they can't pull it off. Because A, even if they offer the exact same quality and the exact same customer service, people are such creatures of habit, so keep that in mind. And lastly, if you don't love work, you're probably not going to be successful. The truth is, being a business owner is very hard. Now, the joke is I work half days as a business owner, 12 hours a day. Yep, half day, 12-hour days. And the truth, when I ran my last business, which many of you probably found me at, I was working 80, 90 plus hour weeks. Were not uncommon at all. Morning, night, and day. Very thankful for my spouse. I was very supportive. Heck, I took my family to Disney World last year. At Disney World, I carried a backpack with a laptop on it. I was always working. Every day I worked. And it's very mentally and physically draining. If you don't love what you do and you're not willing to work very hard at it, you're not going to be successful as a business owner. The truth is, no matter how good your staff is, you are the one that ultimately has to be responsible for it. You are the one that ultimately has to make sure it happens. And you have to love it enough, you have to care for it enough to make that happen. You have to be willing to say, hey, when I did a news site, I woke up often at 2 a.m. because that's when the embargo. No, I did not trust an automated post system because things happen. I can't tell you how many times an embargo would be canceled a few minutes before it was supposed to go live. So I had to get up, get out of bed at 2 a.m., go on my computer, make sure that happened. Do all the news, get back in bed and rest. It happened a lot. First thing I did when I woke up was check my phone for breaking news. The last thing I did before I went to bed, check my phone for breaking news. Cannot tell you how many times I did that. On a date with my wife, checking my phone for work. It happened. It happened a lot. If you're not willing to dedicate your life to it, if you're not willing to put all your effort into it, we've all heard stories, oh, young business owners go and lived in their business basement or in an apartment above the basement because that's just kind of what they did. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner at the store. I know plenty of business owners that did it. Heck, I've done it. So keep that in mind. It's very hard to be a business owner. With that all said, the rewards can be quite significant. Hard work does often pay off if you've done your research, if you've created a plan. Plan. Start small, grow big is one of the most successful ways to do it. Don't just assume that you know the market. Actually really research the market. Because you and your friends say it's a good idea doesn't mean it may be a good idea. Often your friends will tell you stuff just because they think you want to hear it, right? This is what they heard from you, and so they tell it back to you because they think that's what you want to hear. Go look at other places, other people, and see if that really is the fit for you and what you're doing right now. I hope this video really helped you. I know it may have seemed a little dark, but I hope that if you're a business owner, you're thinking about doing it, these 5 reasons not to do it will help you avoid common mistakes. Mistakes of putting your business in a market which can't support it, having too much competition, not differentiating yourself enough from the competition. So keep those kind of things in mind, and not being willing to work hard or not having the money that you need to support yourself as you grow the business. And don't be afraid to have another job as you run a business. A lot of small business owners do that, don't forget. All right, if you're new here, hit the subscribe button. Hit the thumbs up. It really does help us because it lets YouTube know you enjoy what we do here. And hopefully we can help you, in this case, avoid a very costly, time-consuming, and financial mistake of starting a business that probably wasn't going to be successful. I hope that helped. Hey, let me know what you think of this video. I'd love to hear from you. Take care, everybody. Be safe. I'll talk to you all real soon. Thanks for your support.